The year is 2012, Clint Eastwood's standing there, ready to hand out the trophy at Pebble Beach, all serious. But Bill Murray, he decides it needs a little more drama and just flops onto the ground, pretending to faint. The whole crowd, even Eastwood, couldn't help but laugh. Bill's faint wasn't the only crazy moment at Pebble Beach. Take Justin Timberlake in 2019. The guy can hit high notes like nobody's business. But on the golf course, not so much. He swapped his mic for a golf club, and let's just say his drives were unpredictable. Balls were landing in spots even the groundskeepers hadn't planned for. The crowd couldn't stop laughing. Classic Timberlake. Well, if Timberlake can miss a putt by a mile, maybe there's hope for my game. Speaking of laughs on the course, if you remember Boomer from ESPN, the legendary Chris Berman, you know he is going to bring all that energy to the course. But again, let's just say his golf game didn't match his commentary skills. His shots went everywhere, except for where they were actually supposed to go, and he joked, "Well, at least I'm consistently bad." The guy was a walking comedy show, and the crowd ate it up because, honestly, who doesn't love a good laugh on the course? I mean, we have all had those oops moments, whether it's a bad shot or saying something dumb, and celebrities are humans just like us. Sure, they got more money and fame, but they are still human, assuming that you aren't one of those people who thinks lizard people exist. Sometimes it's not even about their struggles on the fairway. Like in 2016, comedian Larry the Cable Guy became a prime example. Now we've known Larry for his vibrant humor, but he didn't tone it down for the course. His mid-swing jokes and loud commentary had the crowd in stitches, but left his playing partner visibly frustrated. A memorable moment came when he shouted, "Get her done!" after a missed putt, much to the dismay of traditionalists. But that's not the only one who missed the silent rule of silence on the field. Kevin Costner. Normally known for his calm, collected persona, but in 2018 had a breakdown. After a series of bad shots, he lost it and slammed his club into the ground so hard the head flew off. The crowd was stunned and the tension in the air was palpable. It wasn't just the sound of the club hitting the ground that got attention, it was the visible frustration of a Hollywood legend, which is honestly more relatable than you'd think. For me, the noise and antics are what make the Pebble Beach Pro-Am special. A break from golf's rigid traditions that makes it more engaging for the television audience. You might see it differently, calling it unprofessional and unfair to the pros who rely on focus to perform. After all, a perfectly silent game might not make waves, but a viral clip of a celeb losing cool mid-game, that's what gets people talking. If noise throws off golf's rhythm, outright chaos takes it to a whole new level. In 2015, Mike Weir, the former Masters champ, found himself in one of the most awkward Pro-Am moments ever. So here's the setup. Weir's paired with Romano, and during a pretty key shot, Romano decides to crack a joke, takes a swing, and shanks the ball straight into a hazard. Total miss. You could practically feel the awkwardness. Weir was trying to stay cool, but you could see it. His frustration was creeping in, big time. And of course, the crowd loved it. Social media was flooded with comments like hilariously awkward. And obviously, we had those ultra-mature commenters with their "Seriously, Ray, take the game more seriously" on comments. The whole thing became legendary because it summed up the weird balance of the Pro-Am. Pros trying to focus while amateurs are just out there for laughs. Honestly, if I were Mike Weir, I'd be booking a one-way ticket to another planet after that. But credit where it's due, he stayed professional, even though that tight smile was doing a lot of heavy lifting. Then came the debates. Was it just an honest mistake? Or was it one of those planned moments to keep things interesting? I mean, no solid proof exists that it was staged, but the timing, the visibility, it did feel a little too perfect for the Pro-Am's whole golf meets showbiz vibe. Either way, it's always entertaining. If you think mishits and awkward silences are all there is to the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, think again. The place has seen its fair share of unscripted meltdowns, and none are more memorable than John Daly's outbursts. Although not a Pebble Beach player every year, when he shows up, his fiery moments and quick temper tend to stand out. The guy's basically a walking, talking roller coaster of emotions on the course, whether he's blasting a bad shot, missing a putt, or just having a rough day overall. One time Daly had a meltdown that was nothing short of legendary. After hitting a shot he absolutely hated, he slammed his club down so hard that the head flew off. And of course, his signature mullet was swaying in the wind as he walked away from the tee. Like, yeah, I'm mad, but I'm still John Daly. Daly's emotional roller coasters are part of the reason they keep tuning in. Instead of seeing his frustrations as unprofessional, they embraced it as part of the spectacle. But you know, for the pros around him, it's a reminder that even the best can lose their cool when the pressure's on. If there's one celebrity who practically is the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, it's Bill. For decades, he's turned the tournament into his own personal playground, blending comedy and chaos in a way that only he can. One of his most unforgettable moments? Back in 2012 mid-round, he casually fished a ball out of a fan's drink, took a sip of what was left, and went on like it was no big deal. The crowd totally lost it. It wasn't just a random gag, it was peak Murray, reminding everyone that this tournament is supposed to be fun, and it's not just about the pranks. In 2017, Murray spent time chatting with a group of kids on the sidelines, giving them swing advice that made zero sense but had everyone cracking up. Yeah, just swing like you're trying to hit a cloud. Sure, buddy, that is how you won every time. Another moment where he disrupted the spirit of the game happened during a particularly tense moment when the pro golfer was getting ready to tee off. Just as the atmosphere seemed to quiet down, Murray, ever the showman, decided it was time for an impromptu story. But this wasn't just any story. No, it was about his caddy's crazy night out, full of bizarre details and loud enthusiasm. The problem? Bill completely ignored the pro golfer who was trying to focus and tee off. The guy stood there patiently waiting, probably thinking, is this really happening? Meanwhile, the crowd around them was loving every second of it, laughing at the absurdity of the moment. The pro, however, was clearly thrown off by the disruption. He couldn't even make his shot until Murray finally let up and the noise died down. And since the title of the Pebble Beach Clown Prince has to be earned through hard work, Bill was all up for it. Murray's club toss, 2017, is one of those moments where his usual antics took a turn toward the dramatic. After missing a putt that seemed like a sure thing, Murray launched his putter into the air with all the flair of an over-the-top actor. The result? The putter landed perfectly in a nearby bunker, much to the amusement of the gallery. While fans were laughing at his theatrical display, there was something almost uncomfortable about it. What was meant to be a joke seemed to reveal a layer of real frustration. Watching Murray's dramatic outburst unfold felt less like a performance and more like a breakdown happening in real time. But let's not forget the helicopter dance, 2019. In one of his most bizarre stunts, Murray started spinning around on the course like a helicopter, arms outstretched, fully committed to the ridiculousness of it all. At first, it seemed like just another of his goofy, spontaneous moves, but it left some players visibly shaking their heads. Was this part of his act, or had he just taken his offbeat antics too far? The line between comedy and confusion started to blur, leaving everyone unsure whether Murray was testing the limits of what was acceptable on a golf course, or if he was just embracing his own brand of chaos. Some of the pros have quietly wondered if his antics ever go too far, like when he randomly breaks into a dance routine or starts heckling his own caddy. Imagine trying to focus on your shot while Bill's doing the cha-cha in the background. Golf is usually all about precision, focus, and keeping things under control. But let's be real, sometimes it's the moments that break that mold that make the game truly unforgettable. Take Alfonso Ribeiro, for example. In 2016, after sinking a putt, he busted out his iconic Carlton dance from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The crowd went wild, and honestly, who wouldn't? It was pure entertainment. Then there's Macklemore. The guy didn't exactly shine on the golf course, but in 2019, His neon green jacket definitely did. It was so bright that fans immediately took to Twitter, calling him out for putting the peacock in Pebble Beach. His game may not have improved, but at least he made a statement. So what's your favorite awkward or hilarious moment from Pebble Beach? Let me know in the comments. Until next time.